The Ahn SHIN-AE Show is sponsored by Innovative Entertainment Group, Anchor, the Democratic Republic of SHIN-AE. Join the revolution by becoming a citizen of SHIN-AE today. The Suwon Media Group, the SHIN-AE Corporation, and by listeners like you. Thank you. Show your support by giving a generous financial donation.
Today's podcast, GC2 cult leader Gage Kirby pushes his attack against Asians and the LGBT plus community, blames it on his mental problems and depression. Only on the Ahn SHIN-AE Show, where your mental fitness is our business.
Why the fuck do I do this shit to myself?
Rants and banter, and the last video that he made, was called Enough is Enough, where he just completely went mental.
So, straight up saying that you're a fucking asshole for needlessly stalking somebody is going mental? Again, I'm not gonna have my psychological state dictated to me by a grade A delusional narcissist. Because what the fuck would be the point of that?
And he just completely went 110% mental. Like, I have never seen anyone spaz out the way that...
You have no right to say that anyone else is spazzing out when you get a cease and desist and you still continue to claim that someone that sent you the cease and desist is going nuts. When you're the one that's actively now violating a cease and desist.
That he has, and I mean, it seems like, you know, because he has chosen not to take care of his mental issues.
Yeah, because, you know, if you have social anxiety and depression, what you need to do is that you need to do exactly what someone else tells you to do, who's not a healthcare professional, who does not work in the mental health field in this country or any country for that matter, someone who has zero understanding of human psychology or how to deal with human psychiatric disorders. This person has the right to dictate to you what you'll do with your mental health when they've obviously stopped taking their fucking meds, according to their own fucking psychiatrist.
And such is just getting worse and worse and worse. He's getting worse and worse and worse.
I'm not the one who keeps going down the never-ending spiral inside the insane bullshit Nautilus shell we call your sanity.
And I mean, in reality, it's really sad to watch, see him deteriorate like this.
I'm not really deteriorating. I just told you to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. That's not the same thing as me like flipping over my desk and breaking my belongings and having what would essentially be like a bipolar or like a PTSD type fucking episode where it starts out with you being mad and frustrated, then you just start sobbing because your emotions are pretty much shot. And because your brain doesn't know how the fuck to make you feel, your brain just like says fuck it and then you feel everything all at once. The only reason I know this is because my brother has BPD, and I've seen him go through those episodes.
See him fall apart, but I mean...
Fall apart, yeah, because me telling you to shut the fuck up is the same thing as someone, like, again, like flipping over their shit, or like straight up breaking down crying. Why does it sound like a lot of these parts of the video, like in this bullshit, like the last one, it sounds like you were ready to just straight up cry? I weep for him. Oh, fuck you. You don't really give a shit about anyone except the people that side with you. Your whole desire to control other people and manipulate them is more important than your own perceived desire to have the well-being of others be on the top of your to-do list. Because, let's face it, you don't have the capacity to actually care about another human being. You don't. because all you do is think about how it can benefit you if someone does as you ask them.
At the end of the day, he brought this on himself. He chose not to listen to wisdom and intelligence from other people, and instead chose to act as if he's a god. And
I have never once pretended to act like the arbiter of this and that at any point in time. Just because I embrace objective fact over some spooky woo-woo horseshit doesn't mean I'm some sort of deity or some sort of deistic figure. It just means I refuse to have my life dictated to me by some fucking spastic retard who lives in a psychiatric care facility because he's too fucking stupid and crazy to get his meds.
He knows everything, and no one can tell him otherwise.
Look in the fucking mirror and say that again.
Unless he want to get smited.
Yeah, sure.
Gage Kirby.
Oh, blow me.
I mean, he hasn't changed.
Will you do me a favor and stop sucking my dick? I'm really I'm getting exhausted with this shit. I'm already tired of it. This is ridiculous.
One day.
Will you do me a favor and not drop your shit, sped boy?
But what's interesting about all this is the fact that, you know, to give credit where credit is due, I really do respect his dedication, even though it's for a failed political cause.
It's not for a political cause. You're just straight up a shitty fucking human being. I legitimately don't fucking like you. For whatever fucking reason, when someone tells you to leave them alone because you're harassing them by constantly throwing their fucking name out there to get people to bother them. Yeah, it's political cause to tell you to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. But it's not a political cause for you to demand that I delete all my shit and get off the internet because you personally don't like what I say about you. Fuck yourself.
At the end of the day, you know, the fact that he stuck with it, no matter how many times he failed and lost and put himself under so much stress and pressure.
It's not stress and pressure, I just legitimately don't fucking like you, and you're so fucking stupid you refuse to believe that anything that you've done is a result of the shit that you've caused for yourself. You say people are stupid and assholes, but the reason they're being assholes to you in the first place is because you're a stupid fuck who goes out of his way to antagonize people.
You know, and embarrass himself and...
You have no right to say someone embarrasses themselves when Justin slapped you around with his dick during those first 2 debates.
His reputation.
Coming from the same person who's a psychotic left-wing pedophile.
You know, and expose himself for being a crazy racist person.
It's not racist to call you something with a fucked up looking face just because you're a pussy who thinks everything has to be political. It's only racist if you personally say it's racist. That's your belief. If you call something racist, it must be racist because you think you're always right.
Who runs a cult and he thinks that...
Coming from the motherfucker who wrote 2 Bibles, claiming that those are religious texts. You plagiarize things from the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Book of, Gilgamesh. You, start stealing biblical texts to insert inside your own little fucking bullshit hokey religion. And yet for some reason everyone else is running the cult? Projection much? Yeah, you know the dude that wrote religious texts for his own made-up religion, that's a cult. Meanwhile, a bunch of people that simply call you an asshole, that's a cult?
Human beings should bow down to him and answer to him instead of thinking for themselves.
This is the same motherfucker who wants to, start a cult by forming his own religion and homogenizing an entire planet under his rule.
And who thinks that human beings can't think for themselves. You know, he has put a lot of effort into doing his misdeeds.
Yeah, misdeeds.
I can't say the same for a lot of people who would just give up. You know, in this case, Gage Kirby should have given up.
You should give up when it comes to talking sense to a crazy person. Yeah, you're right about that. I should not be trying to talk sense to you because you're a lunatic. But the fact is, I'm not trying to talk sense to you. I'm just simply saying, shut your fucking ass, leave me alone, stop bringing me up. I'm not interested in this stupid little fucking horseshit game you keep trying to pull. I'm not fucking interested in playing. Seriously, what the fuck is it with this constant need to throw me into the fray just so you can tell me I'm an asshole?
And Why he hasn't given up yet, I do not know.
Because you refuse to shut the fuck up about me and leave me the fuck alone. Because you refuse to not mention someone who obviously no longer wants to be part of this stupid bullshit that you keep trying to throw them into. Because I refuse to be part of this anymore and you keep trying to fucking drag me back into it.
I mean, he's stubborn, he's cruel, he's a hypocrite.
How am I a hypocrite? I'm not the one claiming to be an arbiter of free speech while trying to censor someone by filing DMCAs on YouTube.
I think he's better than everyone.
When the fuck did I ever say that either?
At the end of the day, when he is proven wrong, which is most of the time.
You can't prove anyone wrong. You never have. You just say that you're right and that just you saying so is supposed to be true. It never is.
99.6% of the time.
So there's a 0.4% chance I'm right. You might want to flip that around and then reduce that to 99.9 because the 0.1% is the point that you're right when you call me male.
He goes off on his little rampages, making his YouTube videos about how everyone else is a problem. Now he hates everybody but those who follow him.
Again, hating pedophiles and child molesters and rapists and racists and terrorists is not the same thing as just targeting every other human being alive and for some sort of like mass genocide, because that'd be retardedly overdone. You're so fucking stupid.
And it's really disappointing that you know there are still people out there suffering by the hands of Gage Kirby.
It's disappointing that he refuses to just suck everyone's cock and tell them all that they're good people, even though some of them are some really fucked up sack of shit human beings who'd be, better off crushed under a steamroller. It's a shame that he refuses to be everything I demand him to be, but I'm not trying to change him, when I'm openly saying he needs to be a different person and act a different way, because I think he should. Yeah, totally not something that a fucking cult leader says about someone.
My thing with Gage is
Your thing is that you refuse to shut the fuck up when someone makes fun of you because you freak out about it. The concept that anyone would oppose you and say anything at all about you that's even remotely negative causes you to get triggered and freak out and screech because you don't know what the fuck to do with yourself otherwise. You're so fucking stupid and self-obsessed with the concept that no one will challenge your ideas, that the moment someone shows up to give you any sort of opposition, your first thought goes to immediately into defaming their character and attacking their integrity as a human being, even if it's by using a bunch of bullshit allegations that only you believe are true.
I mean, after 2 years, you know, he keeps saying that, well, he's tired of talking about certain people.
Yeah, you. And I am. The only reason I'm talking about you now even is because you keep starting shit. When people make it a point to tell you to shut the fuck up and leave them alone, and even going so far as to actually file cease and desists, you keep bringing them up anyway, i.e. myself. You keep bringing me up when I obviously don't want to be part of this stupid shit.
He's tired of talking about this situation, but he's the one that put himself in the situation.
Oh, go fuck yourself. Well, you're the one that made this podcast you're listening to right now. You're the one that simply said you're tired of my shit. And since I'm too stupid to fuck off, I need to take up space in your life by attaching myself to you like a fucking social tapeworm. I'll latch onto you long enough to take things from you to nourish myself. I use your antagonism and angst against me as a way to fuel my own stupid bullshit.
In the first place, no, he started it, not anyone else.
You started it, you stupid faggot. You went out of your way to bother everyone about them simply disagreeing with you on pedophilia, and when people told you finally just to shut the fuck up because they knew that reasoning with you was going to be all but impossible, because people like you don't reason, because you automatically believe everything you say is true, and more true than people that experts would say, then your whole thought is, well, you're wrong, you're stupid, I'm smarter than you, nana boo boo, you're a conservative, you're a racist, you're this and that, and then you decide to just utterly screech until you just antagonize people to the point where they just decide to stop trying to reason with you and they just slowly leave you to your insanity. And when they try to leave you to your fucking insanity, you go out of your way to do shit like this, where you bring them up on an almost continuous fucking loop because you're so desperate for any sort of attention that you'll do whatever it takes to do so, even if it means straight up violating a cease and desist.
So he has to go and take care of himself, and only then will all his problems start. Because his issues, his life issues, had nothing to do with me.
It's not a life issue. You're straight up being a cocksucker, and when I tell you to shut the fuck up and stop bothering me, you make it a point to do it again. I find it funny that you're so goddamn stupid you'll gladly antagonize people if it means you might get your way in the end, and all you know how to do is annoy people. What I find funny is that when someone files a cease and desist, you immediately feel the need to violate the terms of said cease and desist, when the moment you know that you're going to be potentially under some legal hot water if you try to antagonize this person any further. The terms of the cease and desist were verbatim as follows. The client has requested that you insisted that you no longer use their legal name in an attempt to get them harassed on the internet, that you no longer attempt to slander them on the internet, that you no longer attempt to use their name as a sort of reference on the internet, that you no longer attempt to keep throwing their name into the public sphere on the internet. And when I state those terms, you straight up defy them. Honestly, dude, you're acting like a stalker. Get the fuck over yourself. Really, dude, just fuck off. You sound like a fucking asshole because all you're trying to do is say, well, you're not entitled to disagree with me. You're not entitled to say mean things about me. You're not entitled to disagree or scrutinize my beliefs. That's all you've ever said. That's all you've ever been saying. And that's why people legitimately don't fucking care anymore. They don't want to be involved anymore, myself included. Shut the fuck up. I don't fucking care. And you want me to care, that's the problem. You want me to give a shit. Even in situations like this where I'm just blatantly above really giving a fuck. For whatever fucking reason, the concept of someone telling you to shut your ass and leave them alone, it doesn't seem to actually cross your mind as a good idea when it comes to a legal document that was sent to you. I love how you only say people are bullying you when they tell you to fuck off, and when people are straight up just antagonized with your stupid shit. Like, for whatever reason, the concept of everyone telling you to shut the fuck up, your first thought is to screech. Like, that's all you know how to do. Like, you just screech until people tell you to shut your ass.
Now he hates everybody suffering, and that, you know, he keeps saying that, well, he's tired of talking about and take care of himself. He wants, he does what he wants, and then, you know, everything will be fine, people will favor him. I
don't really mind if people favor me or not. It's not a matter of seeking favor over desiring ridicule. It's a matter of simply not liking some spastic babbling moron constantly trying to tell everyone they're smarter when they're obviously not.
How the matter is, though, none of that happened, and he put himself in a very detrimental position where he favored the conservative right.
He refuses to pander to my political horse shit, so he must be a racist, right-winger Christian Nazi. Because I'm too big of a bitch to accept the fact that not everything on the planet is strictly under political orthodoxy.
The sane side, the liberal left.
Yeah, weird, isn't it, that the only side that's sane is the side that you go with. I find it funny that you're so fucking stupid, you'll act like everyone on your side is a genius or some sort of religious mindscaper who can just fix everything, when the reality is you're just a fucking crybaby crackhead who refuses to shut the fuck up because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
And And because he put himself in that position, naturally, the system failed him.
By the system, you mean I refuse to be told what to do by a narcissist, and because said narcissist refuses to accept that he's wrong about everything else that the person says must be wrong because the narcissist says it's wrong.
You know, and when it failed, he didn't know necessarily what to do.
Coming from the fucking faggot who went out of his way to straight up... Again, you're violating the cease and desist right off the bat. Because you're so butthurt about receiving it that you just can't shut the fuck up. When you hear someone straight up file the legal document about you, straight up telling you to shut the fuck up and leave them alone, you need to violate it almost right away just to make sure that you have some way to try to get your ass hurt out of you.
So he decided to go and use everyone else as a scapegoat.
No, disagreeing with pedophiles is not the same thing as throwing all your problems on other people. Shut the fuck up.
Unfortunately for him, by the time he actually did that, there was more information said about him than in the reverse. Meaning that Gage Kirby isn't necessarily the most organized, or the most educated, or the most trustworthy person.
Okay, what would I have to lie about?
And most of his information is inaccurate.
No, it's not. The information I got about you came directly from people that work around you, including your caseworker and your own fucking psychiatrist.
And contradictory at best.
It's contradictory because you personally believe it is.
Most of it is just a bunch of hate speech anyway, and a lot of
It's hate speech if I don't like it, because I'm a crybaby.
the information is really against him, not anyone else.
Alright, sure, piss and moan.
So, by the time he actually came and did all of this stuff, the Ahn SHIN-AE Show was already in full swing.
No one gives a fuck except you. Nobody watches this shit or listens to it except people who deride you because you're a moron.
Suwon Media Group was already in full swing.
Yeah, you mean that thing that you made up as a shell corporation to essentially squeak money out of people by promising them bullshit that you know you're gonna deliver on.
And he was pushing non-stop information about the truth, the truth about how Gage Kirby treats people in order to contradict his lying videos and what.
Just because some random asshole tells you a bunch of shit that sounds true to you doesn't mean it is.
No.
Especially if you're the one reinforcing the truth by telling yourself it's true.
Gage Kirby only has 200 and something subscribers, and it's only really based on YouTube and Discord.
Yeah, because I don't really fuck around in this shit much. What's your point?
However, the information that was released against him is worldwide.
Yeah, worldwide. I'm sure there's like millions of people looking at this and saying, that guy bad. Okay, well, you realize that the internet has a way to like circulate the information that I've said about you as well in a massive way. The only difference is there's no point in really sharing it around because most people A, won't really give a fuck, or B, really take interest in it. Because it's YouTube.
So, in reality, when Gage found out about this, he decided to go and complain like he always does and target the wrong people.
So if I call you a lying little sack of shit for being a lying little sack of shit, it's targeting the wrong people.
He always does because he's uneducated.
He's uneducated. He's stupid because he calls me out for being a lying bitch.
We all know. And
by we all know, you mean you keep telling yourself that I am, just so you can keep justifying being a faggot.
So because of his lack of education, he actually thinks that by bullying and intimidating other people, that somehow is going to make his situation better.
By bullying, you mean criticism and scrutiny, and because you're a pussy, you start crying when people oppose you at all. That's why you're here, so that no one can oppose you. You go to a website where nobody's able to disagree with you or oppose you because you know you're too fragile to actually accept or fight against some sort of opposition intellectually.
When it was the bullying and intimidation that got him in trouble in the first place.
Yeah, when you're a faggot and you file false DMCA claims over and over again, I'm sure it has nothing at all to do with it.
So instead of listening to logic and reason and intelligence.
You don't have logic, reason, or intelligence because all you work on is your fee-fees. All you use to justify the stupid shit you've done is your own ass hurt.
It's like an actual human being. Gage decides to go and continue his onslaught. So Gage now is backed into a corner.
No, I'm not. I'm just simply saying you're an asshole, and instead of taking it like an adult, you freak out. When someone tells you straight up to fuck off and stop bothering them, you keep doing it more because you're actually trying to cause someone to have an episode. Yeah, remember the time you almost caused Jennifer to have a seizure by triggering her dysphoria? You're a wonderful person for doing that, you disgusting sack of shit.
Either A, he suffers the consequences for his actions, or 2, he shuts down his YouTube channel.
I'm not gonna shut down shit, you fucking bitch. It suffers the consequences. He suffers the consequences. He suffered the consequences. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna screech until your non-existent police force comes to get me?
And his Discord channel.
Fuck you, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not obligated to leave just because some pussy with an ego problem throws a temper tantrum.
And just moves on with his life and disappears.
Oh, will you go fuck yourself? You're essentially saying a person's not obligated to have any sort of opinion if it differs from yours. Fuck off. You simpering fag. And I call you that because you act like a fucking British smoke. All you know how to do is light yourself and then huff yourself.
Because Gage Kirby has ruined many people's lives.
Many people's lives? I'm not gonna supply evidence, I'm just gonna say he has. Yeah, that's slander and you can be brought to court for that type of shit. Do we need to add a libel charge onto that shit too?
And what he says is not criticism.
Yes, it is. You're being intellectually dishonest for a fucking reason. That's criticism.
It's not funny. It's not a joke.
You don't have to find it funny for other people to find it funny, dumbass.
It was done on purpose in order to push a racist, conservative...
It's racist because it makes fun of my fucked up face. Crybaby bitch.
Agenda against those we hated, which was the liberal left.
Oh, will you shut the fuck up, you simpering bitch?
That's the reality.
Wah.
So Gage can go and try to cover
Wah.
up what he wants to, but it's not going to work. And it hasn't worked for him. In fact, it actually benefits everyone else, the victims, because now we're gonna say, see, he did it again. See, we did it again. See?
Yeah, I know, you're always gonna make an excuse as to how everyone else is the asshole because you're a lying little fucking pussy who refuses to take any accountability for his personal choices. You're the kind of asshole that when people tell you to shut the fuck up, all you know how to do is cry.
See, he did it again. Video after video after video after video after video. Back to back to back to back to back.
Because you refuse to shut the fuck up. Because you refuse to just fuck off and leave people alone. Because you keep throwing yourself back at people trying to get more attention from them. When people tell you to shut the fuck up, your first thought is immediately to go to the fucking website and cry for an hour.
Like I said in my following podcast, you know, Gage keeps giving us ammo.
It's only ammo because you take everything on a personal level. You turn everything someone says into some sort of racial statement when really it's because you're a crybaby who doesn't know how to deal with a disagreement. So every time someone disagrees with you, your first thought goes to screaming racist or homophobe or misogynist because you're slipping. The little cracks in your mentality are starting to show, and it's becoming more and more apparent to anyone with a functioning frontal lobe and the ability to consciously reason that you're entirely full of shit.
Because he keeps going out exposing himself, and half the stuff that he does isn't necessarily new. I mean, we know him for 2 years, and of course by we I mean, you know, me, myself, and other people, because Gage...
Other people that you will not name because those other people are either A, not involved, or B, don't really give a fuck.
Doesn't know what we means.
I know what we means, I just think it's weird that you never name any of the other people supposedly involved in this shit. It's almost like they refuse to be involved and you're trying to drag them into it.
Or us means.
Hang that shit up.
So, Gage Kirby, he has clearly just, destroyed himself.
Yeah, because I'm so falling apart at the seams right now, guys. See how sad I am? Just being almost entirely disinterested with this shit right now.
And of course, being the nice person that I am.
You're not a nice person, you're just a shitty fucking human being. You're one of these self-flating fucking messiah complex dickheads who acts like just because they have a problem with someone, they think they're saving the person by trying to uproot that person's personality and who they are, just to tell themselves that they're doing the right thing even when they're not.
And this is not me bragging, like Gage.
Yes, it is. It's you bragging. You're basically pretending like you're some sort of fucking messiah that thinks he's saving someone from their self, when really all you're doing is cramming your beliefs down someone's fucking throat and saying they're a piece of shit if they refuse to conform.
Kirby would claim.
I wouldn't claim it. It's just simply, it's observation.
Because I'm a nice person.
No, you're not. You're not a nice person. You're a shitty, psychotic leftist dickhead who's gone out of his way to harass people that don't agree with him every chance he can get.
Because I actually care and give a crap about people, unlike...
Yeah, I give a crap about people so fucking much that I almost cause them to have a seizure by triggering their dysphoria. Or I straight up harass people to the point to where they're actually ready to physically kick my ass.
I tried very hard for the past 2 years to go and make amends.
Yeah, make amends by constantly telling someone they're a stupid asshole. By constantly telling people that they're stupid and that their trauma never fucking existed. By telling them that people that they care about who lost their lives as a result of being sexually violated as children didn't exist and what that happened to them was nothing more but a giant fucking boo-hoo. Yeah, you're not allowed to dislike someone who acts like that.
And work with them.
You've never tried to work with anyone. You essentially call everyone a stupid fucking bigot if they don't give you your way.
For those 2 years, he treated me like crap.
Dude, you don't work with anyone. You essentially call someone a stupid piece of shit and then you lie about them to cover your ass. I mean, 3 or 4 months ago, you went out of your way to straight up filing a false domestic abuse accusation towards me. Yeah, that's working with me. Accusing me of something I've never fucking done that you've never been able to prove is totally working with someone. Calling the person that they love and care about a prostitute because that person tells you to fuck off. Yeah, that's totally working with someone. Shut the fuck up, you ego-flating Messianic cocksucker.
He treated me like dirt. He smiled in my face while...
Oh, please. Dirt deserves to be treated better than you. At least dirt supports something.
Stabbed me in the back.
I've never smiled in your face, period. I've spat in your face while kicking you in the face because I really hate you as a human being. I don't try to hate anyone, but honestly, I legitimately fucking hate you.
So now, years later, he's asking me for a favor.
I'm not asking you for a favor. I'm straight up telling you to shut the fuck up and leave me alone. That's not asking for a favor. I'm straight up saying, leave me the fuck alone. That's not a request. That's a straight up fucking thing. Leave me the fuck alone. You fucking cunt. Like, what is it with your fucking obsession to demand? Like, why is it that when someone straight up says to leave them the fuck alone, it has to be a favor?
Why then, seeing how he has hurt me so bad?
He hurt me so bad. He hurt me so bad. When? Yeah, when you stalk someone, they're just inherently obligated to give you what you want. Fuck off.
And hurt the
fuck off.
Community so bad.
The community that doesn't really exist because it just consists of a bunch of retarded pedophiles.
And hurt innocent people and bystanders.
They're not bystanders, they were a bunch of sick fuck pedophiles.
So terribly. Why then would he think that my side would go off?
It's not your side, it's you straight up trying to harass someone over and over again.
And actually do him a solid when we asked him countless amount of times to do us a favor, which was just tone down the hate speech and tone
down the hate speech. Don't talk about what you want to talk about. Don't hold me accountable for being a stupid cunt. Fuck yourself. Yeah, like, do what I tell you to do, or you're not a good person. Fuck off.
Down the bullying and just muted for a bit, you know.
Or you can maybe not be a crybaby bitch and take everything someone says personally. I know that's hard to fucking understand, but just try to do that.
You don't have to agree with people. No one said you have to agree with any.
Yes, you have. You've straight up said that people have to side with you or they're bad human beings. You say, well, if you'd side with my side, you'd win. Okay, so you're straight up saying that people have to be on your side to be good people. You're straight up insinuating that people have to be on your side to be decent human beings, or you call them a bunch of ignorant, racist pieces of shit.
Anybody. All we're saying is you don't have to take it overboard. I disagree with Gage Kirby 110% on everything that he says, because the majority of what he says is hateful anyway.
Yeah, like if I say the sky is blue and that there are two biological sexes, and that it's not okay to fuck children, yeah, that's hate speech.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you know, if Gage Kirby was a teacher, I would drop out of school. Like,
you dropped out of school anyway, so there's that.
Yeah, heartbeat. You know, no one deserves to learn the corrupt ideology that
no one deserves to learn facts
Gage believes in. That being said, not one time have I ever said anything against his well-being.
Yes, you fucking have, you stupid bitch. You straight up said a member of my family dying was karma on your little gay Facebook account, and then you ended up deleting it because you were covering your fucking ass. And when I say gay, I mean happy, because it was happy to fucking shit on people and bother people. And it was more than happy to do it until someone straight up reported it for being a fucking scam site.
Which includes, but not limited to, his right of existence. Yet Gage had done that to me many times.
Boo-hoo, cry some more.
End yourself, he says. End yourself, he says again. Over and over and over.
Because end yourself, that's why.
Over again. You know, and Gage, I mean, the evidence is in his videos. If you actually take time out of your life, if you actually have time to waste on this crap.
If you actually have time to blow my ego and tell me I'm the genius by looking at him like he's a bad person for disagreeing with a stalking narcissist.
You know, you can actually sit there and watch 3 hours of him blabbing on about how he hates everybody.
Even if those are just like training videotapes and making fun of shit from the 80s and 90s, but you know.
He hates gay people. He hates trans.
When the fuck did I ever say I hated gay people or trans people?
Trans people. He hates black people.
When did I say I hated black people either? Like, when the fuck did I ever directly say those things in those exact contexts or even remotely hinted at that?
He hates Asian people. He hates Spanish people. He hates liberals.
I hate faggots. And when I say faggot, I don't mean gay. I mean like some stupid fucking dipshit who needs to constantly act like everything they say is true. Where they point where they start filleting their own egos and huffing their own flatulence like they think it's fucking fine perfume. Seriously, you blow yourself more than a Tesla driver.
He hates the liberal left. He hates everyone, SJWs. He hates everyone who doesn't believe in his narrative and anyone who doesn't bow down and kiss his feet. Yes sir, no sir. Yes sir, no sir. That's all he does. And I should know because I was a victim of his atrocities for over 2 years.
I'm a victim because you told me to leave you alone. I'm a victim when I told your family member that it's okay that they died of cancer. I'm a victim when I straight up say that you being sexually assaulted as a child is okay. I'm the victim when you defend yourself and then I accuse you of being a murderer. I'm the victim when I make false domestic abuse allegations with no fucking evidence, and then I go out of my way to keep trying to trumpet those accusations with no proof. But I'm the victim. I find it funny that you do shit that bullies do to people and then you call other people bullies.
And of course, instead of Gage saying, you know what? I was wrong.
I'm not gonna admit I'm wrong if I'm not.
I was wrong. I was ignorant. I used lack of judgment. I'm sorry.
I'm not gonna apologize to you for any fucking reason because you're a legitimately shitty human being.
And it won't happen again.
Oh, fuck you.
This goes away. And everything would have been fine.
I'm gonna cry like a stupid bitch because I don't know how to deal with it. Oh, get over yourself.
If he did that years ago, everything would be fine. But Gage Kirby has the tendency to continue things.
Because you're a stupid fucking moron who refuses to shut his ass.
Get me? He has the tendencies of typical conservatives to go and continue things, to expand things. It's like Donnie Swagger,
cry some more,
right? It's
cry
like
some more,
it's
cry
so
some
easy
more,
for you to say I disagree with that. Say a few sentences of why, and then that's it. Instead, he has to go on saying all this hateful stuff about China and saying all.
Yeah. Okay, so because I say that China is like it's a really industrious city filled with smog and they're heavily homophobic. Yeah, it's racist to state facts about China. Because
all this hateful stuff about foreigners and all this hateful stuff about the liberals.
You're not gonna prove anything you say with some actual examples. You're just gonna keep spouting off bullshit because you think people are stupid enough to listen without thinking critically and asking questions.
And then as soon as somebody calls him out for it, I never said that. Or
I didn't say that.
Oh, well, you're a communist.
You are.
Like, that's not going to help, because guess what? I can take those words, I can take the word what you said, and I can still use it against you.
Yeah, but you'll most likely take them out of context when you do, because you're too stupid to be intellectually honest about anything. That's why you put this on a website like Anchor, where no one's allowed to publicly disavow or disagree, unless they resort to using voice messages.
Sometimes the best way of handling a situation is just to say, I'm sorry, and
I'm not gonna apologize to you, shut up.
Back off.
Fuck off.
But of course, Gage Kirby does not believe in the best situation.
Oh, just neck yourself.
He believes in doing things his own way. But
I believe in not being a pussy that gets pushed around by a crybaby whenever they don't get their way.
His own way has failed him. It failed him before he met me, it failed him while he knew me, and it would fail.
I don't know you, just like how you don't actually know me. I know you only from interactions I've had with you like this, because it's all you've managed to do.
Him until the day he dies, and only until he actually gets off his high horse and actually.
You're the last person to say that someone else is on a fucking high horse, you goddamn narcissist.
Starts taking an initiative to fix his life up and.
Okay, so if I don't agree with you, I'm just inherently obligated to mindlessly coddle you because you're a spastic, screeching retard who only resorts to whining like a moron when he doesn't get his way.
And to make amends for all the crap that he put people through, and especially Kate, I feel so sorry for her because she has to be dragged along by Gage Kirby by the neck and by the hand and forced into these situations, and
she's never actively been dragged into the situations. That's why I've never once asked her to be involved in this shit. That's why I've never asked her to be involved in it. I've never tried to involve her in it. The only time she's ever been involved is when she's chosen to be involved, and she just dipped her toe in to see what this shit was all about. When she realized how ridiculous it was getting, she decided just to stop doing it, and I can't really blame her. I completely understand why.
He has nothing to do with.
You dragged her into it when you started trying to leak her name, you stupid bitch. I think, it's funny when you try to name drop somebody, you try to out someone publicly in your little shit smear of a novel. It's okay for you to do that, but it's not okay for her to tell you to shut the fuck up and leave her alone too?
I mean, the reality of the matter is that Gage decided to make us an issue. Now Gage had to decide to stop making us an issue. Because my hands are clean. I wash.
No, they're not. They're not clean because you continue to smear your own shit on them, and you continue to rub yourself with your own shit and scream from rooftops about how bad the other person is.
My hands in this situation a long time ago.
Bullshit. If you washed your hands of it a long time ago, there wouldn't be like 20 fucking episodes about me on this stupid fucking horse shit. Like, a lot of this shit was made a month ago. I find it funny that you claim to have washed your hands of it, but a month ago you were all about throwing it back into the mainstream. Weird, isn't it?
When he decided to go off and say bad things about trans people and the LGBTQ plus community.
If I say you're a psychotic fuckface pedophile, it doesn't mean I'm attacking the trans community. Fuck yourself.
I wash my hands of him because he's just a lost cause. But Gage continues on and on. And then his last video, enough is enough. I mean, he went completely mental, and
he went completely mental. See how annoyed he is! And him being antagonized is the same thing as having a full-on mental breakdown! Maybe under your logic. Maybe if that's the psychotic way you want to interpret it.
I don't know whether he was spazzing out or he had a seizure or something, but at the end of the day, it's like...
Dude, if I was having a seizure, it'd be like one of those things where it's like Petite Mall where you stare off into space for like 20 seconds, or a Grand Mall where you start straight up convulsing with your tongue out of your mouth. I think it's sad that you don't know what the difference between a seizure is and just straight up people telling you to fuck off.
Yeah, Gage is clearly lost it. I don't know what he's been smoking. I don't know what he's been drinking. I say that with
I don't drink or smoke unless I know I'm just gonna relax, and even I don't smoke ever. Like last time I smoked any sort of weed was like when I was like 15. That was the last time I ever like hit a joint, was because I really wasn't. That time it was because I was dealing with something else. I was dealing with something that was my only way to really deal with it. I really don't fucking drink unless it's a social occasion, and even then I don't drink if I know I'm gonna drive.
Utmost respect, because I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm gonna keep insinuating that you have some sort of mental deterioration problem, because I'm too fucked up in the head to understand that not everyone's gonna agree with me.
But at the end of the day, something's gotta give.
You keep saying that, but you refuse to shut the fuck up.
And Gage Kirby can never intimidate me.
I already have. You said you get chills when you mention my name like I'm fucking Voldemort or Beetlejuice.
He can never own me.
I'm not trying to own you. I really don't want to be around you, let alone own you.
He can never control me.
I'm not trying to control you. I'm just simply saying leave me the fuck alone. I'm simply making the general statement to fuck off and stop pestering me.
And he can never push me around.
Coming from the same stupid motherfucker who wants to push other people around by telling them to delete all their shit.
Because I'm tired. I'm so tired of the victimhood of this.
You keep making yourself a fucking victim, you retard. You knowingly place yourself in a situation where you antagonize people, then when you get some sort of retaliation or some sort of pushback from it, you claim to be a victim.
Person who thinks that the world revolves around him.
Coming from the same stupid motherfucker who more or less wrote two religious texts as some sort of culty religion.
That he is the sun and we are the earth and we must bow down to him. He
I never once said that nor implied that in any way.
controls day and night.
Never said that either.
Up and down.
Never said that either.
North and south. He
I've never once said anything to even give anyone that type of inclination.
controls all our destinies. He controls all of our beliefs. He controls when we breathe, when we take a piss.
You don't take a piss. All you do is drink your own urine. Because you also huff your own flatulence.
We love, when we hate. He controls our mind. That's how Gage Kirby acts, and he forces it on people. It's one thing if he just says it and move on.
I do just say it, and if people tend to agree with what I say, it's simply other people seeing what reason in what I say.
Okay, fine. Well, he's an idiot. Okay, whatever.
He's an idiot because he doesn't agree with my pity boo 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 bullshit.
You know, I'm just gonna ignore him. But he
Yeah, you ignored me so well when you make like 10 more of these.
keeps going on and on and on.
Cry and cry and cry.
Years on.
And bitch and miss.
I mean, you would think after the first day, right, that Gage will realize, hey, you know what, this person isn't gonna listen to me. Then
People said that the first time around. The only reason anyone kept going back and forth with you is because you acted like a street preacher following them around and saying, hey, wait, I want to talk to you. But when people tell you to leave them alone, you don't. You keep going. People have to block you on every platform just to shut your stupid ass up, otherwise you keep pestering them.
let me move on. He doesn't agree with me. Let me move on. I moved on a long time. I moved on.
No, you didn't, because a month ago you were still doing this shit.
Since day one.
Yeah, you've moved on since day one. That's why you made a point to keep accusing people of racism and bigotry and homophobia and shit. For years. For 2 fucking years, you claim you're trying to move on, but you keep going out of your way to publicize false claims about people in an attempt to destroy who they are as a human being and damage their integrity. But remember, he's trying to move on, everyone. That's probably my lawyer calling him.
The point being, Gage Kirby is the real culprit. And nothing that Gage Kirby has ever said and done is any of my doing.
Yes, it is. Yes, it fucking is. When you antagonize with someone to the point where they want to kick your fucking jaw down your throat, that's you antagonizing. It's not as simple as them just being some psychotic dickhead who wakes up in the morning pissed off about nothing. If you're so fucking stupid that you need to constantly keep ascribing a fake narrative to everything, just to cry like a moron, then I don't know what else to tell you except get over it.
He controls his own life. I'm not a puppet master. I don't tell him when I don't go off saying dance, puppet dance.
No, but you go off saying that people need to dress a certain way, they need to act a certain way, they need to be a certain way, and if they don't do any of those things, you accuse them of being racist, homophobic bigots. Like, I find it funny that you'll accuse people of shit with no fucking evidence every time you get a chance to, and then the concept of shutting the fuck up just, it disturbs you.
Workman, Gage controls his own life and his own destiny. And if Gage chose to ruin his life, and I tried warning him, and of course I warned him, he didn't listen, and
I warned him, guys, I warned him that there'd be consequences, I warned him that I was gonna
what I warned him actually came true, so it was more...
What do you mean actually came true? What, you think me being pissed off with you is like some sort of ghost coming from your behest to punish me? No, it's because you're a moron.
Pathetic, if anything. Prophetic. Sorry. If anything, so at the end of the day, guess what?
Yeah, it's pathetic if you make fun of some psychotic child molester.
I warned him that these events would happen. I warned him about the consequences for his actions. He chose not to listen. Now he has to deal with it himself. There's more to come of this. Hopefully, there'll be other news also. And if you have any news...
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna try to have me arrested for calling you a retard on the internet?
Feel free to contact us.
By us, you mean you, because no one else fucking believes you.
Ahn SHIN-AE Show, and,
By the Retard Fish Show.
If you have a shout out, or...
Yeah, here's my shout out. Fuck you.
If you have important news that you're sharing, both personal or local, national, international, whatever.
You're not international. You're in one fucking country. You're in California right now.
Send your feedback, but no hate speech.
It's only hate speech if it's mean to me. Don't be mean to me or I'll cry. Fuck you.
This is the Ahn SHIN-AE Show, when your mental fitness is our business.
Yeah, mental fitness. Yeah, but when you act like a psycho and you start attacking people to discredit what you've caused them on a psychological level, yeah, it's mental fitness. Neck yourself.
The Ahn SHIN-AE Show is sponsored by Innovative Entertainment Group, Anchor, the Democratic Republic of SHIN-AE. Join the revolution by becoming a citizen of SHIN-AE today. The Suwon Media Group, the SHIN-AE Corporation, and by listeners like you. Thank you. Show your support by giving a generous financial donation.
Knowing where we stand, but you and I will carry on. We never get it right.